Two local baseball coaches suddenly resign after an alleged brawl during a spring break trip. It's a story you probably saw floating around on social media.
Well, 19 News just got a copy of the police report. Our Brittany Weir has new information on what exactly happened.
It was supposed to be a fun baseball tournament in Myrtle Beach. Instead, it ended with a fight, and now two coaches are gone. According to North Myrtle Beach Police, in the early morning hours of Saturday, April 11th, members of the Rocky River High School baseball team were walking when they crossed paths with a fraternity. But what happened next depends on who you ask. The team's chaperone told police that the boys were simply walking when the older fraternity members began harassing them. He says the situation escalated until one of his players hit a fraternity member and then ran away. The chaperone also told police that one of his players was briefly held and questioned about where the other student went before being allowed to leave. The fraternity tells a different story. A member told police that the younger boys were on their property and were asked to leave. He says the conversation turned into an argument, and that's when the high schooler threw the first punch. The fraternity member denied holding anyone against their will. Police say no one had any visible injuries and no one wanted to press charges. Back in Rocky River, the fallout was just beginning. The district postponed baseball practice and 2 games while they investigated. Then, in a letter sent to families, the school announced that head coach Ed Piazza and assistant coach Michael Harper resigned. Assistant coach Craig Morrow will now take over as varsity head coach for the remainder of the spring season. The district says it is committed to supporting its students, athletes, and families moving forward. The district has not said whether any players face discipline. We spoke to the Rocky River Police Department, and they said since this incident did not occur in their jurisdiction, they are not involved in the investigation. And they actually found out about it through an anonymous email. But they are happy to help the school with whatever they need. In Rocky River, Brittany Weir, 19 News.
Well, this afternoon, the former coach, Ed Piazza, issued a statement on X. He writes, quote, "To be absolutely clear, neither Mike Harper nor I were involved in any criminal investigation or any illegal activity of any kind."
Yeah, they continue saying, while I understand that the situation may have created concerns or negative perceptions for the school and the Rocky River baseball program, it is important to state clearly that no wrongdoing occurred on our part.